Pokemaniac Frank, and today we're going to be talking about the history of Pokemon. First off, what is Pokemon, and where did it get started? Pokemon, short for Pocket Monsters, is a popular media franchise created by Satoshi Takagari and Ken Sagamori. The franchise began back in 1982. Satoshi started a gaming magazine together with his friend called Game Freak, but after a while they decided to start making his own video games instead of writing about them. In 1989, Satoshi turned Game Freak into a gaming company, and together with his friends they released a few games such as Pulse Man, Yoshi and Mario. In the early 90s, inspired by his childhood, exploring forests, finding bugs and collecting tadpoles, Satoshi came up with the idea for Pocket Monsters, or as it's more commonly known today as Pokemon. He then pitched the idea to Nintendo. Nintendo was a bit unsure about Pocket Monsters at first, but eventually accepted the idea, and Satoshi spent the next 6 years working with legendary game maker Shigeru Miyamoto, the man behind Mario and The Legends of Zelda, to make the Pocket Monsters a reality. On the 27th of February 1996, Pocket Monsters was released in a red and green version for the Game Boy in Japan. It instantly became a hit in Japan and went on to become a global sensation. The core concept of the Pokemon games involves players taking on the role of a young trainer who captures and trains various creatures called Pokemon in order to battle other trainers and their Pokemon. After the success of the first games, a company called Media Factory created the Pokemon Trading Card Game, or TCG for short. The first cards were released on October the 20th, 1996. The cards were an instant success in Japan, leading to the release in the Western markets, with the first English language set being known as the base set being released in North America by Wizards of the Coast in January 1999. The initial release was met with high demand and quickly sold out. Wizards of the Coast reported in early 1999 that it had sold over 400,000 packs of Pokemon trading cards in less than 6 weeks of its release. Wizards of the Coast will continue making Pokemon cards from 1998 all the way until 2003. In July 2003, Wizards of the Coast lost the license to publish the game. Sets continue to be published now under the jurisdiction of Nintendo and the Pokemon USA Incorporation. Since then, more than 42.5 billion cards have been printed. Pokemon cards today have become collectibles, with some selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. More on that later though, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. Back to 1997, Pokemon was turned into an animated TV series in Japan. It followed the story of a boy named Satoshi, named after Satoshi of course, as he set off on a journey to try and become a Pokemon master with his companion Pikachu. When the series was released worldwide, the producers changed Satoshi's name to Ash Ketchum. Since then, there has been over 23 series of Pokemon and more than 1,000 episodes of the show. A year after the first TV series dropped, a movie hit the cinemas in Japan. The film called Pocket Monsters the Movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, followed the trainer Ash Ketchum and his friends as they were invited to a mysterious island where they meet the powerful Pokemon Mewtwo. The film was a huge success and was released worldwide a year later. Since then, 23 animated films have been made. A live-action movie, Detective Pikachu, which starred Ryan Reynolds. In 2016, the Pokémon Company also released Pokémon Go, which is a free-to-play mobile game part of the Pokémon franchise, developed and published by Niantic in collaboration with Nintendo. It uses mobile devices with GPS to locate, capture and train and battle virtual Pokémon. The game launched with around 150 species of Pokémon, which had increased to around 700 by 2021. Pokemon Go was one of the most used and profitable mobile apps in 2016, having been downloaded more than 500 million times worldwide by the end of the year. The game still had over 147 million monthly users by May 2018, over 1 billion global downloads by early 2019, and grossed more than $6 billion in revenue by 2020. The most expensive Pokemon card is the Pikachu Illustrator, which sold for $5.275 million in July 2021. It's a true holy grail of Pokemon card collecting. Only one PSA 10 is known to exist. YouTuber Logan Pual bought the illustrator in exchange for a PSA 9 version of the same card said to be worth 1.275 million, plus an additional 4 million. While he brought it in 2021, the private sale wasn't announced until he wore it around his neck at the WWE wrestling event in WrestleMania in 2022, where it was given the Guinness World Record for most expensive Pokemon cards sold at a private sale. Since its creation, the Pokemon franchise has become the most valuable media franchise of all time in terms of revenue. Since its emergence in 1996, the Pokemon franchise has brought in a revenue of over 100 billion through shows, movies, books, and games and more. I get asked all the time, is Pokemon losing its popularity? It's difficult to make a definitive statement whether or not Pokemon's losing popularity, as it depends on various factors such as geographic location, age demographics, and cultural trends. However, overall it doesn't appear that Pokemon's losing popularity in any significant way. In fact, the franchise has continued to expand in recent years, with new games, merchandise, trading card sets, and a whole new generation of Pokemon that just got released. The release of Pokemon Go in 2016 seemed to spark a new hype for it, same as the last couple of years. I've seen big spikes in the Pokemon's popularity. That being said, it's possible that some people may lose interest in Pokemon over time, or that the franchise might not be as popular as it once was, but overall it seems fair to say that Pokemon remains a popular and beloved franchise all around the world. I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for watching this video about the history of Pokemon. If you had any other ideas for videos we should do on our channel, please let us know in the comments below. We're hoping every video is going to be better than the last. We also wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for subscribing to the channel lately. We've recently just hit 2,000 subscribers. Also, if you're interested in Pokemon card collecting, check out our series where we collect a Shadowless base set graded by PSA. I'll leave the link to that in the end description of the video.